Welcome to Capital Review with State Representative Paul Gardner. I'm your host, Mike Howard. Well, Representative, we're not always doing things at the Capitol, so let's start with some of the things you've been doing away from the Capitol.
Oh, sure. Just this weekend on Saturday afternoon at the Minneapolis Convention Center, there was the official welcome home ceremony for the 34th Minnesota Infantry Division, the Red Bulls. It's about 1,200 Minnesotans from I guess they're based in Stillwater, Inver Grove Heights, and Rosemount, who came home. I know of at least one of my constituents who came home just recently. So we're glad to have them back. I don't have any military background, so it was kind of interesting to see the process. But Senator Franken was there and actually spoke with a little bit of levity to talk about how families have had to cope with the separation of families. And he said, let's not forget this list that they had at the phone room that I saw in Afghanistan, which would apply to anybody who's overseas. That's where you go to phone your family. And the pastor had put this list of things that you should and shouldn't do when you're calling folks from home. And he said to always say that I love you. And then second, ask how the other person is doing before you ask about your car, your boat, or your motorcycle. And all the enlisted folks in their audience really just broke out laughing because I guess they've done it. So, but thanks to all the families who've supported their family members, and to the employers too. These are National Guard troops too. So, welcome home.
Well, let's transition from that to something that just happened today. We're filming this on Monday, April 12th, and that's the governor signing into law the Safe Drug and Disposal Act.
Right. Over the weekend, the governor did sign my bill that I'd been working on for many months, the Safe Drug Disposal Act. That will make it easier for law enforcement and counties to collect your old pharmaceuticals, your old over-the-counter and prescription drugs. Those have become an increasing threat for drug abuse by not just by teens, but people who are getting in your house under supposedly family or friends who are taking stuff out of your house and abusing that. And we want to find a way to get rid of that cleanly and also not have to flush it down the toilet, which is a source of endocrine disrupting chemicals that are altering our fish, and it's stuff that's getting in our drinking water also. It was pared back significantly, so the funding system for that, the industry funding, was not in there, but I think it's something the governor could sign, and it makes the regulatory barriers easy to deal with, to unravel the state and federal laws related to drug possession for purposes of disposal.
And some counties have had a turn-in program that's worked successfully, and so this is going to kind of hopefully open that up.
Right. Chisago County, the folks up in Duluth have done this, and Blue Earth County. Hopefully we'll start to see this more here in the metro, but it'll be a few more years before we get it the way we want it, but I'm hopeful.
Yeah, and what is the next step?
Well, actually, one of the next steps is one of the reasons we have a lot of wasted pharmaceuticals, not just in your house, but also at nursing homes and healthcare facilities in particular, is just this array of overlapping rules and regulations and funding systems for prescription drugs and public programs like Medicare and Medicaid. And there really has been no incentive to avoid prescribing more pills than people are going to use for a variety of reasons that we don't have time to get in. But the Centers for Medicaid in Washington believe that up to $10 billion a year just in Medicare and Medicaid at long-term care facilities is wasted because people change prescriptions, they die, they change the dosage, or they just prescribe too much. So I think there's actually a lot of opportunity to conserve taxpayer dollars in avoiding the waste of those medications in the first place, so that we have resources to actually get people drugs when and where they need it. So I'm looking forward to working on that next year. That actually translates, that $10 billion number translates to about $171 million here in Minnesota.
So it sounds like this year...
That's a chunk of change.
That's especially given the large budget challenges folks are wrestling with. So it sounds like this year dealing with a lot of the public safety, environmental issues, but there's the broad cost savings measures to next year.
Yeah, waste means your waste. I think we can find some money there and help taxpayers out at the same time. And then next time, maybe we could talk about some of the domestic violence legislation I'm working on, and we'll hopefully have an update on the budget.
Sounds good. This has been Capital Review with State Representative Paul Gardner.
Great, thanks.